Well, hello and welcome in, friends. How's everyone doing today? I hope you are well. My name's Sarah. I'm an intuitive energy reader. Today, I am going to be sharing with you from the Star Seed Oracle deck. And we are going to do a spread that reveals who you are as a soul and how to shine a light on who you are and who you came to Earth to be. Okay? So it's basically your life purpose, your spiritual life purpose. So, what is your soul gift? Well, it's what you came here to express and to share with others. And the card that you received was a new earth. It says it's happening. It's happening. Keep holding the vision. Okay. So, the message that comes with that is that you don't want to give up right now. You're a lot closer than you think. Okay, so just keep plugging along. I know it's getting really tough. You're running out of steam, but you have this great gift of being able to see the potential in things before they even exist. And you've got a lot of really great ideas, but this last idea that you're working on, this one that you're like, yeah, I think this is the one. Trust that. Really explore where that idea can take you at this time. Keep that focus fixed. Keep those dreams in existence. Don't let them fade. Keep them strong. Okay? Right now is the great time to plant those new seeds. It's also a good time to always let go of things that are holding you back. There's never a better time than around the full moon, which is when I'm filming this. But this advice is good for any time. It doesn't have to just be around the full moon. But you are being asked to have faith right now. There is a global shift happening at this time. And there's people like you and I who are hoping to see that a change in humanity where love is what the rule is instead of, whatever it is that we're under right now, right? It's not ideal. It's far from ideal. And so we would like to see a future that is steeped in love and peace and healed people that are taking the reins in their own life and pushing forward to make things better for themselves. So in essence, a new earth. A new earth can even be just a frame of mind. It's how you want to build your own personal life and your dreams. So it's happening. Hold on to that vision that you have in mind. Okay. The road ahead may not be plain sailing, right? There's going to be bumps in the road, but don't question yourself right now. Don't waver, and dig in deep with that devotion that you have for this project or this idea, because not too far into the future, you're going to sit back and look at all those seeds that you planted. See, you can forgo the whole thing and just say, it's a lot of work, but yeah, if it's a good idea, you should really try it. Give it a chance. Okay? All right. So your karmic wounding, that's the second card I pulled. So that's what you came here to heal. And the card you got, again, very similar to the first card. This one is the Seas of Mintaka, seeing potential, bringing unconsciousness to light. And see how they're very similar cards? It's almost like, they're part of a picture. They almost fit together like a puzzle piece. Okay? So this is what you came here to heal, is you're bringing unconsciousness to light. So you're bringing clarity, or you're getting clarity of the potentials and the possibilities. You might be someone who identifies as someone that is from this Mintakan background, a galactic race of people who saw the light in everyone and in everything. And even if you don't identify that way, you can embody that energy, right? When you receive this card, it's a confirmation that a situation or a project has extreme potential. Wow, that's exciting. And that it will reach fruition. So this is like a sign from the universe to get going on this thing. It is going to happen. Wow, that's wonderful. This is a very uplifting, light-filled card that brings great harmony, contentment, and positive outcomes. This is fabulous. And I like what this says. Now, some of you might not know who Carl Jung is. Jung, Carl Jung. But he said, and maybe give it a Google, he was like a psychologist. He also had a spiritual side to him. Without going into everything, give him a Google. He said, that which we do not bring to consciousness appears in our life as fate. So when water appears in dreams and in artwork, it often represents the unconscious mind. Pulling this card also means that you might be called to bring to light any unconscious patterns of which you're unaware. Unconscious patterns of which you are unaware. To look at them and to see them clearly and consciously so that they don't appear in your life as fate. So, what are these unconscious patterns or behaviors that are ready to be brought to the light of day? How can you see the potential in a situation that you're facing? And what unconscious patterns are you being called to bring to light? It's a very, serious question to ask. But you are seeing that potential. Now, the third card I pulled was what you came here to learn. So the card that came up for you was Earth Pulsing, Pulse of the Mother, Slow Down, Time in Nature. So maybe the person I'm speaking to, you have trouble slowing down and taking time for yourself. No judgment. We all do this. So the message that Spirit would like you to hear is that right now, many of us are disconnected. Somewhere along the way, a severing happened. A moment when it became too painful to stay connected. We feel unsupported and as if we don't belong. We look to other people and other external things in the world to fill some sort of void that we have from lack of connection. We might even be recalling a time when things were different from perhaps a past life. Or maybe we just recognize that things were different before we all became so connected. Even though we're so connected, we're the loneliest we've ever been. It's quite a phenomenon. So it brings out that now there's taking, clutching, conquering, longing for others to receive us fully as the mother once did, forgetting that she's still here, waiting for us to remember her and activate the part of us that longs to receive Mother Earth's embrace. So when you're consciously connecting with the earth, there's a veil that lifts and Mother Earth opens up and receives you more fully. Then you're able to release what no longer serves you. All right? So then that stagnant energy falls away and then that flow comes back so that you're able to receive. What a beautiful message. That's a beautiful card too. It's like they're laying in meditation here They're laying in this essence of this peace. And that's the lesson, is that life is not supposed to be hustle and grind. Despite what we've been conditioned to believe here on this planet, that you're not worth anything unless you're out there making millions, right? Those of us who have connected with spirit, we see things a different way, don't we? And maybe those that we really love, we wish that they could see there's a different way to thrive in this world than the way that we've been conditioned to believe by society. So what's the current obstacle that you are facing right now? Well, this is the thing that's challenging you the most. And it's that you feel defenseless at this time. You are trying to right past wrongs, and you are uprooting yourself from who you used to be. And that's been so hard. But you recognize that this is how we grow and evolve as people. That's our entire purpose here. It's to come here and experience all the beauty that this world offers to us. It's not to stay comfortable in one place. You know, some cycles of our lives, yes, we have to stay a little bit more stable. But I know personally, I'm at the part of my life now where I have so much open to me now that my children are raised and my husband's retired. And I'm still young and healthy enough, thank you, Spirit, that I can experience things. And I encourage you to the best of your ability, whether you're just, exploring a new place to go or travel, or even just getting closer to Spirit and exploring mentally through meditation, journeying, other modalities of connection. Okay? That is what's going to help us to meet the challenge and surpass the challenge. So what does it look like when we are in a place where we are trying to make amends? We might see things as a personal attack upon us when we're hurt and triggered by something that we see. We need to see those triggers as an opportunity for healing. A lot of things can be completely changed if we just change our perspective and see it from a different angle. And this is becoming a lot more prevalent now. Astrologically speaking, there are different planetary movements that's causing us to become more awake at this time and to see things more clearly. That it might be that if you believe in past lives, you remember a time when the earth was not so connected, where maybe you just lived in a small village your entire life. From the moment you were born until you passed away, your life was maybe within a 5-mile radius. And that's how it used to be. It's hard for us to imagine that life was not so connected, especially those of us younger ones who can hardly remember, a landline telephone or mailing a letter. I'm not of that group, but maybe some of you are. Maybe that's why we struggle so hard, some of us, is because we remember more slower times where things were not so fast paced. Our bodies have not evolved to participate in that kind of constant movement. Our bodies, although they're machines, right? They move like machines. Our brain needs downtime. Our nervous system needs downtime. We need time to process things. But in this world, we're often pushing ourselves to experience the next thing. Maybe that's part of our conditioning, is we're told that we've got to be moving, hustle, grind. And I used to be that way too. I have a lot of a lot of issues in my past were of never feeling like I could measure up. And so I was always working really hard to prove that I was worthy of love or of attention or um, of being just seen. And so I would work myself. My health really suffered for many years. And it wasn't until, recently that I recognized that taking time out for myself was honoring myself, and that, of course, I could not give to my children and my family, my husband, my community until I took care of myself. And of course, we hear that all the time, right? But sometimes things have to, universe has to let us find ourselves in a situation where we need to make some major changes in order to move forward with our goals. And one of those things is by honoring ourselves by self-care, right? So that might be your current obstacle, your current challenge is letting yourself have some rest, letting yourself have some downtime, letting yourself maybe not have a full packed schedule. A lot of people would say, oh my goodness, I don't know how you could do that, not having a lot going on in your schedule. But I can personally speak from experience that when I was raising, when my husband and I were raising our children, when they were young and school aged, a lot of their peers were in all these activities, and they really struggled because some of those children were not built for that kind of hustle. They are more sensitive children who needed to pull back from the world. They're very introverted, and they maybe need more time for just recharging. Some of those children had to turn to some really tough things in order to cope, right? They didn't know quite how to deal with all the extra noise, and they really struggle. So maybe your children are like this. I know my children were sensitive, and we honored that about them. We didn't push them to be in all these activities, right? So if you would do that for your child, for someone you love, why don't you do it for you, right? So just make sure you're not tearing down something that could be something awesome because you're just not honoring that you need rest. Sometimes when we're resting, that's when some of the biggest stuff is happening behind the scenes that we don't even know about. So the last card for this spread is soul calling. What your soul is calling you toward. And this brings out the golden child. And I didn't know what this was. This is the first time I've seen this card in a spread that I've done for YouTube. So I had to look into it a little bit more. And let me tell you, there are a group of highly advanced, extremely intelligent souls who are incarnating increasingly on planet Earth at this time, and they are called the Golden Children, or the Children of the Sun. And they have little to no personal karma and possess incredible gifts and intuitive abilities. These Golden Children are born with a very clear mission, and many of them will remember it from a very young age, and they will begin answering and sharing it early in their life. So due to their unique intelligence, they may find themselves easily bored at school or very sensitive, right? And needing that time to pull back. Most have never incarnated on Earth before, and so if they're not supported in the right way, they're going to struggle with physical life here. And they're often referred to as the new humans. So maybe you've got a child in your life or children who are like this. And when I read this, I was thinking, that sounds like my own children. And I didn't know about this. There's so much in the spiritual realm that we may have not been privy to until quite recently. And that's part of this great awakening happening where humankind are learning that, and spirit is reaching out to us in countless numbers. People who you may have never even thought were spiritual are coming out as spiritual. It's it's quite a movement. And so these golden children, maybe you know someone like that. And in this card, you're being called to father or mother a child. Or maybe it's even that inner child inside of you that needs the mothering. Maybe you were a very intelligent, highly misunderstood, clever child. Maybe you got into a lot of mischief because you had all of this fire spirit, this energy, and no one could quite keep you sitting still. So maybe you suffered at school. Maybe school was really hard for you, and maybe you got into trouble quite a bit. And so maybe this is the first time you're hearing this like me. And maybe this is connecting some dots for you or for your child or children or someone else that you might recognize could fit in kind of this sort of idea, right? So when you pull this card, you may be called to tend with even a creative project or a creative idea that you've got in mind. You're being asked to treat yourself again with tenderness, taking time out for yourself. You're being asked to nourish and nurture this idea or this child or yourself. Encourage it, water it, and see the world through the innocence of a child's eyes. They see everything with wide-eyed curiosity, and you're being asked to also see the world that way. When we step away from this negativity and pull back from what the world deems as necessary to be listening to all the time, many of us have gotten used to having constant noise in the background. And that can really disrupt our nervous systems. We as humans, we're not exactly meant to endure constant barrage, right, of energy from the world around us. Sitting in quiet or listening to a stream or a body of water, the rain, birds chirping. Maybe when you get to the point of being able to just sit in silence for 5 minutes and just completely immerse yourself in the silence. And if you can sit with that and build up, that's basically meditation, right? We don't have to put labels on things. If you can just sit in quiet for a little while, see how long you can go without reaching for your phone or reaching for whatever it is that you soothe yourself with, okay? And then build up on it. And don't beat yourself up if you can't, because I think it's what it will do is it'll open your eyes to how dependent we have become upon something external to us. And Spirit is asking us to look within. People are often amazed by how much there is inside of us to explore. We often look to the external to be gratified, to be entertained by, to be distracted by. And when you can learn to sit in silence, the places your mind will take you, when you connect with Spirit, there's nothing like that. There's nothing like that in the world here. And many of us will find that when we get to that place and really start connecting with Spirit and working through past traumas and shadow work, inner child work, psychic gifts open up to us. It can happen for anyone who is willing to make the time out to sit in that discomfort, because it's uncomfortable to sit in silence. That was uncomfortable, wasn't it? You were waiting for me to start speaking again. Like, What are you doing? Like, get to it, right? Silence is important for us to make connections with spirit. And if you're here hearing this message, especially if you've never seen me before, there's a reason you needed to hear this message. I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope that this message resonated for you. I hope you'll connect with me again. Have a good one. Bye now.